Hello, Glyn here. What stops you from being authentic in relationships? My clients tell me they want to stay calm in a conversation. They don't want to hurt the other person or make the other person angry, so they cover up what they want to say, or they shut it down or push it down or push down their feelings about something in order to try to create that space, to force peace, create peace. But I've been thinking about this and looking for the link. There are two things I think we're trying to avoid at all cost. First thing is rejection. It's hard to be authentic and not worry about what people are going to think of you. And the second thing is something else that drops our energy. So we actually don't want something to drop our energy and trigger things like sadness or depression, anxiety or guilt or shame, the lower energy emotions. So anger can actually be energizing. So at first we don't mind having that because it often motivates us to some kind of action. We need to take care here that we're acting out of integrity. Otherwise, we have lots of messes to clean up afterwards, which is not impossible. And we might have guilt or shame. And we go back then to very low energy vibrations. What I mean by vibrations is just feelings. So low energy feelings. So we try to sweep our emotions under the rug. We stop ourselves from being too honest or open. And we say things like, there's no place for emotion in business or with our ex, or we need to show strength with our children, not our weaknesses. And yes, partly that's true, but not all the time. So when we stifle the big parts of ourselves, we're stifling our creativity and our capacity starts to diminish. And we actually risk our integrity. So there's a lot at stake. So why is it even important to surface the emotions and honesty? Surely we just get a good night's sleep and off we go again the next day. The body and mind actually need to release the emotions to make room for more capacity and kindness and more capacity for the next challenge, because there'll always be one, right? So think about whether you would like to stay calm during a tough conversation. It's actually not achieved by pushing emotions aside. This is actually important. So why don't we just say things honestly and tell it like it is? Just blurt it out, let the other person just deal with it. They're adults. Well, I'll tell you why. Recently, I was under some stress while I learned a completely new set of materials. And my nervous system kept going. Then a couple of days after my learning ceased, my ability to remember simple things also ceased. I had reached capacity, in short. So I can't simply tell it like it is and summons my honesty when I'm at capacity, meaning when I'm triggered or when I'm thinking this is going to be a tough thing to do, because my mind isn't working in the same way. So once I reach capacity, I'm more triggered, I'm more on edge or more at the edge. And what this means is I'm likely to say something unkind, direct, or blunt. And my mind won't be able to think of an alternative because it's reached its capacity. The river is blocked by a big boulder. So if you want to be creative in anything at all, your mind needs to have some free-flowing space within it. Your heart needs to have some space within it too. For you first, and then your heart can extend its caring for others and for projects that you're working on. What this ultimately means is when you're stressed, you only want to see one outcome. You're really attached to that one outcome. And you're actually strangling the life out of other better possibilities that might come along, that might come to you. And the longer you remain in capacity, that's what's going to happen, or out of capacity. At this point, we don't have access to thinking logically or in a heartfelt way towards ourselves or another person or project that we're working on. We actually go into defense mode. As far as our communication goes, our tonality changes, our strategies are clashing right then in the moment with other people and even in our own heads. So we need to zoom out to see the larger picture or the bigger picture. That's what's required. And this is where my relationship reset roadmap can help. The way it works is accessing a relationship reset language. We can give ourselves empathy or receive it from someone else. By focusing on what we want to walk towards, what is the positive thing we want for ourselves, which is the big picture, rather than forcing ourselves to focus narrowly, which evokes a kind of a pushing or a forcing energy. It's right at this point that our level of support is important. So we can shift our perspective. We can see life from a brighter place. We can feel lighter and touch that sense of feeling invincible once more. That spaciousness inside our body and brain returns. Capacity returns. You know it when you feel it. When you feel it, you have it. Then you can return to your project, and creativity will add that little bit of sparkle to your work or your conversation or your problem solving. The other amazing human need that is met when we have capacity and can voice what we want is that of integrity. Accessing integrity is important, so we don't spend our time in guilt or regret over something we blurted out when we were at lower capacity. So remaining true to our identity as we see it is very important to us humans. If you're curious about this and you're about to have an important conversation, please reach out. I'm about to share some simple, effective tools in a masterclass coming up on November 8. Tools for how to gracefully start a conversation about something you've always argued about. I'll put the link below for you. Everyone's welcome. I hope this has been helpful. So let me know in the comments below or follow my YouTube channel for more insights and learning. Thank you so much for listening.